So, you're a founder and you just landed a term sheet. First off, congratulations. That is huge. You've spent months, maybe even years, pitching, refining, and believing in your vision. But what comes next? Well, that's just as crucial. Let's dive into the hidden trap that so many founders don't even see coming until it's way too late.
I mean, think about that feeling. You've actually done it. The validation is right there, in your hands. It's an incredible moment. The result of all those endless hours and just relentless belief. You feel like you're on the home stretch. You can almost taste the victory, ready to get that capital in the bank and really start scaling your dream. But here's the kicker. Getting that term sheet, that's not the finish line. Nope, it's actually the starting gun for the final, most intense part of the race. So yeah, celebrate, for sure. But know that now, the real scrutiny is about to begin. We're talking about the financial due diligence phase, or FDD for short. This is the part where investors bring in their auditors and they comb through every single detail of your company's finances. And let me tell you, this is the stage where most fundraisers stall, get delayed for weeks, or even worse, lose a huge chunk of their valuation.
And this is where we meet the valuation killers. Now, these aren't some huge, obvious business failures. No. They're often tiny, technical errors in your finances and compliance that auditors are literally trained to hunt down. We're talking about things like how you recognize your revenue, the state of your cap table, the official list of who owns what, or whether every single one of your foreign investment filings is perfect. To an investor, any messiness here screams operational risk, and that gives them all the leverage they need to start negotiating your valuation down.
And here's where the math gets really painful. Let's talk about valuation leakage. You see, for every 1 lakh rupees an auditor flags as some unexplained expense or a potential tax risk, a VC can and often will argue for a 10 lakh rupee reduction in your valuation. It's that 10x multiple. A tiny little crack can cause a massive flop.
Just let that number sink in for a second. Over 10 lakh rupees. That's the potential hit to your company's worth and to your own personal equity from what might just seem like a tiny accounting oversight. This, right here, is why the due diligence phase is so incredibly high stakes.
Okay, so it sounds pretty terrifying, right? But look, it's not all doom and gloom. The key is to be proactive, not reactive. There's a structured way to de-risk this whole process before the auditors even set foot in the door.
The solution is framed as a productized service. Now, what does that even mean? Well, think of it this way. Instead of paying for endless, unpredictable billable hours from a consultant, you get a fixed scope, fixed price solution that's designed to solve one specific massive problem, protecting your valuation.
And here it is, the 10-hour Fundraise Readiness Sprint. The tagline really says it all. Protecting founder equity, eliminating deal killers, accelerating the close. This isn't just about tidying up your accounting. It's a strategic weapon for your fundraise.
So how does it actually work? I mean, what can you really accomplish in just 10 hours that could potentially save you millions in valuation? Let's break it down.
The sprint is broken down into 4 really clear, logical phases. It starts with defending your valuation. Then it moves to cleaning up the books. Then we shield your equity and compliance. And finally, it all comes together in building the perfect virtual data room for investors to review. So in the first few hours, we're on defense. We're making absolutely sure the numbers in your financials tell the exact same story as the one in your killer pitch deck, because VCs hate it when the numbers in the story don't match. Then, it's a deep dive into all those tax reconciliations and vetting any related party transactions, which are huge red flags. Next, it's all about securing your equity structure, your cap table, your ESOPs, and finally, everything is packaged up into a pristine investor-ready data room. But really, the outcome is what matters most for you, right? This isn't just about having clean paperwork. It's about preventing that valuation leakage we just talked about. It's about shaving weeks, sometimes more than a month, off the diligence timeline. And that means getting cash in the bank faster. And maybe most importantly, it puts an expert between you and the auditors.
This quote just nails it. As a founder, your job is to focus on the vision, on building the business, not getting into the weeds arguing about revenue recognition standards with an auditor. Having a specialist who speaks their language and can handle that technical friction for you, it's an absolute game changer.
All right, now it's your turn. Let's run a quick simulation. I'm going to throw some of the real high-stakes questions at you that VCs and their auditors ask every single day. Let's see if you have a solid answer ready to go. First up, revenue. Can you prove without a doubt that every single dollar you booked in a month was truly earned in that month? Auditors are obsessed with this because improperly timed revenue is the fastest way to inflate a valuation, and they get paid to find exactly that. Okay, next, tax compliance. A mismatch between your GSTR 3B, your monthly GST return, and your main profit and loss statement? That is a massive red flag. Why? Because it suggests either your accounting is sloppy or, even worse, you're telling the taxman one story and investors a completely different one. Now this one's a biggie for anyone with foreign funding. It's non-negotiable. If you're missing a single foreign inward remittance certificate or FCGPR filing, that can create huge legal headaches down the line. These aren't just pieces of paper, they're serious legal requirements. And finally, let's talk internal controls. Any transactions with relatives, paying yourself a salary, renting an office from a family member, they have to be provably fair. Can you defend them with what's called an arm's length study that proves the rates are in line with the market? Because auditors will check to make sure company money isn't being funneled improperly to insiders. So, how'd you do? If you even hesitated for a second on any one of those questions, you can start to see just how quickly an auditor can poke holes and create doubt. And in a fundraise, believe me, that doubt is exactly what cost you valuation.
And that really brings us to the final and most crucial takeaway. Investing in this kind of preparation isn't a cost. It's insurance for your equity. The real expense is not being ready. Just remember this. The cheapest expert you can hire is the one who protects your equity. The most expensive one is the one who lets your deal fall through. Preparation isn't just an option. It's your absolute best defense.